my name's Joe. I've been working with Numan now for around about 8 weeks or so. The way that I found Numan was actually through following his agency for a fair amount of time. So for me, I started my journey as an agency owner around about 14 months ago now. And from the very start, I actually followed New Marketing on their Instagram, but I didn't actually stumble across the actual person behind the agency until around about 2.5 months ago. As soon as I saw the content that Numan was putting out there and that he was actually hosting his own mentorship program, I instantly knew that I needed to get in touch. So some of the initial challenges that I was facing, which actually made me want to go on his mentorship program, was that I was stuck around the 5, 6, 7, 8,000 pounds per month mark. Now, initially that sounds really good, right? But I can tell you now, I was working like an absolute dog to achieve those figures. So I was working pretty much from around about 5:30 a.m. all the way through to about 8, 9 p.m. in the evening with minimal breaks just to be breaking those figures. If you actually look at it that way, I would have been better in a 9 to 5. So I decided with Numan's help, I wanted to change that, because the thing is, right, as an agency owner, you're looking for freedom. If you're going on this solo journey, on this entrepreneurship journey, you're not looking to be like the slave of your clients as such. So if you're going on your solo journey or like an entrepreneurship journey, you're not looking to be working every single waking hour of your life, are you? You're doing it for freedom. What I found was it was taking a massive toll both on my mental health and my physical health. And I knew if I kept that up long enough, I was actually inflicting more pain on myself as opposed to bringing all of these things that I thought owning an agency would achieve, such as freedom, such as brilliant mental health, such as being able to spend all my time that I want to improve in myself, my physical self, and my psychological way of being. After just a single call with Numan, it was evident that he could help me with the challenges that I was facing. He approached it in a cool, calm and collected way, which meant there was no pressure on me to actually go ahead with the mentorship program. And before we even began, he already provided me value. And that goes such a long way, right? You can genuinely tell just from that how passionate he is about teaching others what he practices. So as I said, I've been working with Numan now for around about 8 to 9 weeks, and what I have managed to achieve with his guidance is absolutely incredible. I've gone from an agency owner that was making just about 5 figures per month, if that, working my absolute, backside off, giving my everything, both mentally and physically. And now I'm at a place where I'm actually near enough doing less work and thinking more strategically, but I've hit my first £20,000 month. And £20,000 to me is what I was expecting to be achieving 5 years from now, not within 2 months of guidance from an expert within the field of running an agency. And that to me, I cannot thank Numan enough for, because I wouldn't have been able to achieve it without his guidance. And that I have so much gratitude towards Numan for, because I wouldn't have been able to achieve it in such a short time frame without his guidance and him teaching me the mistakes that he made up to this point. What we noticed was there was only a few very, very minor tweaks that I needed to realize through learning in order to progress to the point where I'm at now, which is £20,000 a month for this month, as well as the following month. And already 3 months down the line, I'm projected to make £10,000 revenue within that third month. And I haven't even started taking bookings yet for one-off content shoots. So literally, I'm saying I've gone from just about scraping 5 figures all the way up to easily doing 5 figures per month. And that is incredible. I think what I've realized is from an investment point of view, you can't look at it like money. You need to look at it like you are buying someone's years and years of experience and expert guidance in order to get you to the revenue figure or whatever other goal you have for your agency. And you can't put a price on that. And Numan has, and I think he needs to increase that price tenfold because the value that you get from it, not just from a financial standpoint, but from a standpoint of mental clarity and mental soundness within yourself, from the advice and the views that he has on things, is absolutely incredible. And this is such an important thing that I'd like to say, is that since working with Numan, not only has my agency become more financially stable, not only has it become more structured and have stronger foundations due to his guidance, I myself feel stronger. I feel more confident in what I do and what I sell. And that is something that is going to take me so far. Working with Numan has been absolutely amazing, to say the least. One thing I'd like to note is that Numan is very on it when it comes to accountability, which I think, as someone who is running a mentorship program, is an incredibly important thing to be good at. Because yes, you can get tons of information poured at you, which he does. He doesn't gatekeep. He is an absolute open book. He tells you everything. What you need is someone there to actually be holding your hand in the day-to-day, outside of the mentorship calls that you will have with Numan. And I can say that not every mentorship program has that availability. And if it does, it doesn't have it to the same extent that Numan does. With Numan's mentorship program, he is pretty much there on hand pretty much every day of the week, if not every day of the week. And he will try his absolute best to help you. And every single time, he will do that with success. To bring it back to that revenue number that I was saying, the systems that Numan has helped me bring into play have been revolutionary for me. I feel as if my agency actually has some foundations now, whereas before I was just a guy winging it on a day-to-day basis. But I feel now I have got the consistency both within revenue numbers and within my SOPs for my clients that Numan has told me to put in place to clearly scale. And that's something I'm really confident to say that the majority of agency owners would want, is to ultimately scale. And in order to do that, you need to have these structures, you need to have these foundations in place to bring predictability to that scaling. Without that, your agency will eventually run before it can walk and it will trip up. And that's the way that I was going. But thanks to Numan, I've managed to rein everything in. I've managed to build a stronger foundation from which I can grow much more sustainably with. And that's something that without his help, I wouldn't have figured out until it was too late. And by that point, you've already upset your clients. You've already caused a massive detriment to yourself and your mental health. Maybe even your friends, your family, your relationships with people. And this is all stuff that Numan will coach you through. It's not just about, I'm going to teach you harsh sales tactics to put these offers in your client's face and not allow them to say no. It's more than that. It is about building an agency backed by systems, backed by a strong foundation that can support you for years and years to come. To round this all off, I want to say from the bottom of my heart an absolutely huge thank you to Numan. I wouldn't have got to where I am currently at without his expert guidance and clear direction with where my agency can go. I'm sure a lot of agency owners will relate to this, but I was definitely on my way to mental insanity and to a business that would have collapsed before it reached the stage where I wanted it to go. It's so easy nowadays, especially if you are good at sales, to build up that revenue. But what I would say is it's incredibly difficult to do it at a sustainable rate where there isn't detriment to the quality of the work you're doing or to yourself and your mental and physical being, because you're working yourself to your max every day. But with Numan's guidance, I feel like I am now able to achieve my goals within the agency without all of these additional strains that I just mentioned. For anyone who's considering joining Numan's mentorship program, I say this from a point of absolutely no bias. I was hesitant going into it. I was skeptical about the results it would bring. And I thought that the big investment that it is may not be worth it. But my advice to you is, if you go into it with an open mind, willingness to learn and progress your way of thinking and change some habits that you may be carrying up to this point, you will inevitably succeed with his guidance. He's done it for himself with new marketing. He's done it for me with zone marketing. He's done it with his other clients. He can do it for you. Thank you, Numan.